What's up guys, D-Life HD here. In this Raging Bulls QuickCast, we talk post-game reactions to the Bulls vs. Grizzlies game. D-Rose joins the Timberwolves. Timberwolves, I mean. I preview Bulls vs. Pistons, talk starting lineup and matchups, players to watch, and my winner predictions. Let's do this. So, we won this game. Why? Because you can't possibly tank enough to lose to the horrible Grizzlies. I know, I'm a hater, but don't you agree? The Grizzlies are terrible. I love how going into this game, everyone was saying how Dunn, Levine, and Marketing couldn't play together. Well, they show up, each scoring 21 or 22 points respectively. They combined for a total of 64 points in this one. The Grizzlies mounted a few comebacks, but you never felt like the Bulls were actually losing this one. They were clicking on all cylinders like I know they can and just looked really good. It's almost like all three of them were like, oh, we can't play together, you say? Hold my beer. It was honestly a beautiful thing to see. Just as I predicted in the last show, everyone won their matchups except for Justin Holiday, and just as I predicted again, Fred only played him 17 minutes. So it's not like he got significant minutes compared to all the other starters. Also, our bench outscored their bench 26-25, just as I thought we would, so there were really no surprises. One thing I will say though, I'm a little worried about Denzel Valentine's shooting. He went 0 for 8 this game with only 1 point. I see him as one of our good rotation players going forward, and I hate seeing this type of inconsistency from him. Hopefully we can rectify that. Either way, the Bulls win 119-110, pushing them up to 22 wins and 42 losses. With that out of the way, let's talk about Derrick Rose. Sources say he just signed with the Timberwolves, which I find ironic because he's going back to not only the coach who could technically be the cause of his knee injuries, but he's also going back to play with his teammate Jimmy Butler, who was actually the main reason why he had to leave Chicago. Though I honestly don't think his relationship with Jimmy is ever going to be a problem this time around. Derrick has turned into more of a bench player than anything else now, so egos may not clash this time around. I would love to see him revive his career. Picture the playoffs with a starting lineup that includes Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, and Taj Gibson in it at the same time. Think of the stories that they could come up with if they make some actual noise in the playoffs. Rose joins Timberwolves to complete what the Bulls couldn't, or something like that. Either way, I always dream of him making a worthwhile comeback and getting back to at least a fraction of what he was in his glory years. That would be something, wouldn't it? I feel so sad every time I see him go down time and time again. There's an argument going around that Tom could be the reason Derrick Rose and others are getting injured. I mean, it's possible, but as others have said, there are other players that play huge minutes and they're fine. I'm wondering if maybe Tom is putting them through too many rough practices or something, or maybe it could be a lack of a good diet or lack of a good night's rest. Who knows? But I do know good diet and good rest is important for athletes. Alright, with that said, let's get into our Bulls vs. Pistons game. The Pistons just came off of a 2-point loss to a really good Raptors team where DeMar DeRozan scored 42 points. However, on the Pistons side, Blake Griffin scored 31 and Andre Drummond notched up 21 boards. That's flipping insane. The Pistons are at 9th in the standings and 5 games back of the Bucks in that last 8th spot. They still have a chance to make it into the playoffs, so I don't see how the Bulls win this one. The Pistons are out to play while the Bulls, well, not so much. With that said, let's go into lineups and see how they match up. First, the matchup at point guard, Chris Dunn versus Ish Smith. Chris Dunn beat Smith in every category that matters, the closest being in points and blocks. Dunn leads with 13.5 points per game compared to Smith's 10.7. In blocks, Dunn leads averaging 0.4 blocks per game to Smith's 0.2. I claim this win to Dunn. Up next, the battle at shooting guard. Zach LaVine versus Reggie Bullock. LaVine greatly outscores Bullock 16.9 points per game to 9.6, and also leads in every other category but field goal and 3-point percentage, where Bullock edges out LaVine. The only other stat Bullock wins at is blocks per game, where he averages 0.2 to LaVine's 0.1. They're coming off of good games, so I give this matchup to LaVine. Now, the battle at small forward, Justin Holiday versus Luke Kennard. Once again, Holiday is a better shooter and a better player all around. averaging more than Kennard in every stat category. The biggest disparity being in points per game, with Holiday scoring 13.2 to Kennard's 6.8 and averaging 2.5 more rebounds than Kennard as well. Once again, if he sees significant minutes, I expect Holiday to win this one. If not, Kennard will definitely get the win. The matchup at power forward is Lauri Markkanen versus Blake Griffin. This matchup is going to be really interesting to watch. Blake Griffin is a star player, so you expect him to beat Markkanen in every stat category, most importantly points per game, where Griffin averages 22.2 points per game to Markkanen's 15.3. But it'll be fun to see how he does. I give this one to Blake Griffin though. Last but not least, the battle at center. Bobby Portis versus Andre Drummond. This matchup is not even fair. Andre Drummond is a much better player than Bobby Portis, beating him in all stat categories, including points per game at 15.1 to Portis' 12.5. But most importantly, he just slobbers Portis on the boards, averaging 15.7 to Portis' meager 6.4. While I do expect Drummond to completely dominate Portis on the inside, it'll be interesting to see if Portis looks to make more outside shots. That's one thing he does better than Drummond, so maybe he can exploit that. Okay, so this one's interesting, but according to my predictions, they're tied 2-2 on the matchups that are a short thing. The only matchup that's a toss-up is the Holiday versus Kennard matchup. Even though Holiday is better, I don't think he'll get much playing time, giving the edge to the Pistons. I also think their starters are just a little better than ours. If Robin Lopez were starting, I think it would be a much better match. Either way, as I stated before, I don't see the Bulls coming out to win this one, especially when this one is played in Detroit. Bulls get the loss here. According to 2K, we're going to dominate this game, but well, that's because I was controlling the Bulls and played an amazing match. Honestly, this was probably my best match to date. I was driving well, shooting well, passing well, leading the fast break. It was awesome. Though I doubt 2K is right in this instance. They don't know the Bulls are tanking though. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this, and make sure and follow me on Twitter and Facebook for daily posts. Love you guys, and peace.